You want some of this meat? This is my meat. This is how I make it. What's up everybody, my name is Blake and welcome to Everything Except Nothing. Today we're going to be going over how I make my beef jerky, so let's check it out. So starting with the marinade, 1 cup dark brown sugar, 2 cups La Choice soy sauce, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 1 tablespoon black pepper, 1 tablespoon red chili flake, and 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. I will reduce this to 1/8 cup in the future. Whisk, and that's it for the marinade. Next, you want to cut all of the fat, or as much of fat as you can, off of the meat, as the fat will tend to go rancid if you are planning on storing this jerky for a longer period of time. Go ahead and just add the meat to the marinade, making sure it coats all of the surfaces of the meat. Then putting it into a plastic bag. Once again, this is 4 pounds of meat, so the marinade will work for 4 pounds of meat. However, I put it into a plastic bag and remove the air so that that marinade can penetrate all areas of the material, so that we can utilize as much or as little marinade for as much meat as possible. My smoker will not hold all 4 pounds of meat. I can only do 3 pounds at a time, so not all of this will go on the smoker at one time. The next step is to put it in the refrigerator for 6 hours. Once this happens, after 6 hours, remove it and kind of rub the meat around. Make sure that you can get all the marinade across all surface areas. Put it back in for another 6 hours and you're good to go. Next step is to pat the marinade, pat the meat down so that the marinade is not still on there, and you want it to be as dry as possible when it goes on the smoker or the dehydrator. I have done this recipe on a dehydrator as well as with the smoker. You will want to cut it down to smaller pieces for the dehydrator. So starting up the smoker, set it on smoke setting, let it run for 5 minutes, and then I left it on the smoke setting to smoke for the 6-hour duration on this cook. Now you're going to want to position all of the slices of meat across the smoker so that they're not touching, so that the smoke can penetrate. And if you have hot spots, you're going to want to make sure that at each hour interval you rotate the jerky in case so that some of it doesn't get burnt or overcooked while others don't cook quite as fast. Now, half of this jerky I did put a little extra heat on it, and I did it at this time. I also did a couple pieces with lemon pepper. Now, I checked the jerky every hour, and after the first hour there wasn't too much grease, but I checked the jerky every hour for 6 hours, and each time I check it, I pat it down to remove any of the grease that's building up on the jerky. This helps with that rancid factor, as well as makes the jerky a little more dry for storage. So just patting it dry, all the pieces, and this is also a good time to rearrange and kind of spread them out if you have hot spots in your cooker, or you want to take some from one shelf to another. But make sure that you keep, if you're going to use multiple seasonings, to keep them separated. The next step was to pat them dry once again and make sure that I got all that grease off of there, and just to go ahead and cut them. So for a dehydrator, you want to cut these strips prior to dehydrating so that there's more air flowing through your dehydrator. But for a smoker, I did bigger strips and then I just cut them at the end, so that way I didn't have to deal with cutting it with a knife at the beginning. I could just cut it with the scissors at the end. And like I said, there was the extra hot, and then that last section is a little bit of lemon pepper on there. And that's it. That's all there is to this jerky. Here's the final product. And there we have it. Like I said before, you can use a dehydrator for this project. However, I have been using the Treager lately. I enjoy using the smoker and trying new interesting things. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear any recipes that you guys might have, and maybe try those out as well. And if you like the channel, please subscribe and hit the like button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.